Hey, this is Dave Loves Comics, man, coming for you from Chicago. Hope you're staying safe. Thanks for clicking on here, man. And hey, I want to just do a little venting video, a little bit, about the Suicide Squad, about the marketing. My vent is not with the movie, but with the marketing of it. And hopefully the movie does well, but no matter how well it does or how, successful, and I wish it's successful. I wish all comic book movies, Marvel or DC, but no matter how successful the film is, it could have been a lot more successful. Now, it's got a handicap because it's got the Delta variant out here. Please be safe, wear your mask, talk about getting vaccinated. I mean, it's real out there. But even with that, that's already a handicap in the factor. But what's more of a handicap factor is, I'm just going over three things of how the marketing, let down the Suicide Squad film 2021. Number one, I don't understand why it just can't be Suicide Squad 2. I know it's small and I know it's just a number. But there's a lot of fans, who respect Dave Ayer, who did the first Suicide Squad. Not too many people. There were some people who did, to be fair, who like the first Suicide one. I think a lot of people like the premise of the Suicide Squad. It was disappointing in the last 30, 40 minutes of it. We got the first live action Harley Quinn, in films. Batman, Ben Affleck, knocks the mess out of two villains, and I mean, he captures Deadshot, and it was the first time we've seen Batman and Joker, in a movie since 2008. So applause. But the grittiness, the bar scene, own it. As soon as they leave the bar scene, it becomes something else. Now, if you didn't want to give David Ayer, you threw the bath out with the water. I mean, was people that disappointed that we didn't see, okay, maybe the second one he get together. But James Gunn decided he wanted to do Suicide Squad. He picked his favorite actors, from the first one, and brought a whole bunch of, people he's worked with. I love them all, but 5 or 6 of them are ex-Marvel. They are ex-Marvel actors and other things, Thor buddy on it, my Ant-Man buddy, David Dasher, is on it. John Rucker, and you got Sean Gunn. I mean, you got a lot of the cast. There's even the one young lady, I think it's Sonya Bragg, who not really Marvel, but by Fox, from the New Mutants, so it's like 7 or 8. So it's just like, okay. But to a lot of people who in the week of, it's like the David Ayer cut. I mean, David Ayer made up, I would not reject my first film. They cut my film all up. And like, if you look at the Suicide Squad, I see Dave Ayers. I see his vision in it. It's not my fight to say, oh man, we need to release the cut. But weirdly, in the same month, you got the new Suicide Squad out. So you really needed to say Dave Ayer was a consultant on it. He gave his blessing of it. He met him on a set. Even if it's not true, make it look real. I mean, make it true or make it not, but give the appearance that this is continuing the foundation and is going in a different direction. Because most franchises, you're going to have different directors or different ideas come on it. Perfectly. Here's a perfect example. Venom 2. The trailers came out for that one, not to go on a side thing, but, the director of that is a brand new director on the Venom for whatever reasons. He didn't completely change what we saw before and say, this is Venom #1 and this is a reboot and I'm gonna bring some folks back. I mean, the director of Venom 2, my man, Gollum, who did it. It's an homage. It's a continuation of what worked before, and not reinventing the wheel. But that is just really me. Number 2. Now, I was along number 1. Number 2, everybody who's listening to this video, if you like Suicide Squad 1 or didn't, here's the thing with marketing. Suicide Squad they have not made a trailer that have just blown me away or majority of the people. People are kind of still lukewarm checking it out. People, James Gunn fans, excited about it. You know, you have some characters. It's an oddity film. But the Suicide Squad, the first trailer that was played at Comic-Con, that is a film lesson in filmmaking, because that trailer, the people who made the trailer of that one, they had them go to the movie and re-edit it and re-funkify however they did it. That Harley Quinn spinning around in the bars, and I heard a story. Oh my God! And the joke was on me. People could not. I mean, the video was bootleg, and then they finally brought out the original version. And still, even that movie, they didn't have a trailer better than that. That was one of the DC Comics cinematic universe trailers, but one of the best film trailers. I mean, I'm not off the top of my head, but competing with that, because that made you like, man, what is that? You know, you got the Misfit story and, you know, the bomb in the head. You can pick that all up, but you were still fascinated by it. This Suicide Squad, it looks parody, you know, it looks a parody of it, but that's James Gunn's thing. I mean, James Gunn has made 2 parody films before even Guardians of the Galaxy, Super and Specials. And Guardians of the Galaxy, the secret to Guardians of the Galaxy is it didn't take itself seriously. The secret to Guardians of the Galaxy, it was a thumbs up to Marvel, and he got away with it. I mean, I applaud him for it. It wasn't everybody's going to get an individual movie and a separate movie. We're going to bring the team, or we're going to know all that backstory. He was just like, man, I got Groot, I got a Rocket, I got Chris Pratt, I got Drax and Gamora, the daughter of Thanos. We're going to get together and we're going to have a jolly good time. And that light and the tone and the not so serious action, humor, beautiful soundtrack. And that has somehow, Jon Favreau started the Marvel formula, but James Gunn completely, because not all Marvel films it's got the James Gunn formula. And he's probably like, dang. And then you fire me? I'm going to DC. Now I'm back, you know. But in this Suicide Squad, James Gunn is correct. I've seen him in interviews. I'm making a James Gunn film, DC or Marvel. When you hire me, you're going to get my film. And that's a different tone. And looking at it, you see the tone. But like I say, it leads to them advertising the movie as a James Gunn film and not a Suicide Gunn film. So it's kind of like, okay. Number 3, lastly, man, hey, man, on my big old soapbox, let me tell you something. If you stay this long in this video, man, I appreciate it, man. Let me give you out a DC vent that, a free ride, that is absolutely mind blowing. Suicide Squad. I don't know if James Gunn, would have been the one to do it. I'm glad he's doing it. I mean, I know if James Gunn's coming to DC, it would have been maybe Green Lantern was something he would have done. That's already taken. I can't imagine another project that he could have done. Maybe Lobo. Or, oh my goodness, James Gunn should have did Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. But right now they trying to start that, get that going. But that Justice League Unlimited. Oh my God, Keith Griffin and some of them writers, all this different comic book. That James Gunn come back DC and make that film. But this is the thing about Suicide Squad. Some director and some writer, so, because you have DC people, you have DC comic book fans of all of the universe, you have Snyder Universe people, and Snyder Universe folks is already asking James Gunn to apologize for stuff long ago. I mean, you have a core audience for whatever reason, they just like, whatever. They feel abandoned. You got mention of 2 Supermen. You got Ben Affleck, his last hurrah, Matt Reeves, Batman coming up. So people who's into Snyderverse is like, what? Throw us a bone, give us some news, give us some projects. We got the Justice League on HBO and making y'all some money. And it's just like, thank you, Zack Snyder, for a good time. Now, if you a business, you got to unite. Now, I would have truly, the Suicide Squad could have been DC's Endgame. And I say because Marvel, 2008 started with Iron Man and rolled it up. By the time I got 2018, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, this was that, Endgame was that Civil War. It was everybody who was available on the table come together right now. Suicide Squad, what I'm saying is, you could have gotten characters represented from every film together in the screen at the same time. I know it sounds crazy, but these actors are still working, and to celebrate, because Man of Steel came out, I think 2013, so it's 2021. Get the band together. They're gonna have Fiora, the dark-haired brunette, the villain. Say she's kryptonite. Say she's alive. She got thrown up a spaceship. Say she's alive. Throw her in the mix. She could have been on team. She could have been the villain. Number 2, from Batman vs Superman, I don't know, he got thrown the window. Who say maybe he's all scarred up like Marvel did with Crossbones? Sorry to have all the Marvel references, but you could have had the KGBs. People don't even know KGBs was in the Batman vs Superman. Throw him in the mix, and then Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn. Victor's ass, so hey Harley Quinn, what's going on? What is this all about, man? I wake up and I'm looking at Amanda Waller. Oh, welcome to the Suicide Squad. That's what Harley Quinn could have said. That throw my man Victor's ass in. And on top of that, Aquaman, Black Manta, my man, Candyman, and then the Watchmen. He's a DC hero, man. But put Black Manta, that actor. Put him in the suit. I mean, Black Manta was in the movie. He was in the Suicide Squad and the Comic-Con. And my Lord, if you were throwing a Justice League reference, okay, Boomerang was in it. Deadshot. We don't know if he will ever get in the movies or get another appearance. I have no idea. Let Lex Luthor say, man, I'm trying to put a team together myself, and maybe Lex Luthor busts out and, Amanda Waller. I mean, I'm saying that could be backstory. I mean, some of the people don't have to be in the movie, and just say, I had conversations with Lex Luthor. It ain't against the law for DC to say, you don't have to show Lex Luthor, say, I talked to Lex Luthor. Just acknowledge that he's in the universe. That's all I'm asking. And, but Deadshot, Black Manta, Victor's ass, KGB, that's your, come on now. But it would have been respectful to say, each one of these films is a building block to build up. I mean, this is, if the Zack Snyder world is gone, let the actors, still get paid. Just do it a different way, do it a little reboot. But, and I love the characters that James Gunn. James Gunn picked the characters that, the eyeballs and the oddities of it. Which is great. And he wanted to throw in the folks, and everyone in the film, I'm interested in seeing. But, some of the Nathan Fillion and James Rucker, the people you gotta look up in Google. Oh, who was this? Oh, he was in Suicide Squad 1 day or 2 days. I mean, if it's just like, some of these folks I wouldn't even get them out of jail to do a mission, not compared. When I got Deadshot and Black Manta, that's you. Maybe they so badass you don't need nobody else. But my point is, that would have been nice to see all these actors put together. That could have been like I said, I don't always compare to Marvel, but the oddity of the Avengers, because honestly, most people in Marvel is always the underdog, because DC got the household names that everybody, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, everybody knows their origin, their history. They are the gods in the comic book world. And some people, that's a little too much for them. But DC, when people say, oh, they're going to do Iron Man. What? Captain America again? Oh, throw Hulk in there. And Thor was the one. I don't know how they gonna do Thor. Oh my God. With the cape and the horns and the hammer. Oh, gather thee. Oh, that. Everyone's like, man, they ain't gonna do it. It's just not gonna work. And Iron Man 2 put doubts even more. Cause seeing Black Widow the first time, he was like, oh, so this what it's gonna look like? Okay, War Machine, Iron Man, Nick Fury. Okay, I get it. Let's go for a ride, The tone of Captain America was so different, it's like, oh my goodness, it was so earnest. Joe Johnson, who did the directing of it. But people was like, it ain't gonna work. Most people went to the Avengers like, it ain't gonna work. And it did, But not, let's get back to the DC, but you're not uniting people that you think will expect to be in the movie, but then you say, okay, what did make it? Because I'm gonna go back when the Avengers was together. It's like, oh, it do make sense because it's the Avengers. I mean, it's the precedence for it. Suicide Squad, Black Manta, Deadshot, have been in the Suicide Squad. I mean, these people you can actually look in the book and say, okay, they was actually in the Suicide Squad. And mix it up, play with what works, but just has a nod to the actors and getting the Snyderverse folks who's big fans to see some acknowledgement of it, when I go to movies, like, you don't even have to explain, oh, okay. I don't need his backstory, his background. I mean, they got their place on the roll. But anyway, I don't make this too long of a video, more of a rant than that one. But like I say, it's getting a lot of reviews, a lot of good reviews, some mixed reviews of it. Reviews helps a little bit. And, the first week, every film right now is doing great the first week and then kind of sliding down a little bit of it. But, it's a handicap with the Delta virus and people scared about going to the movies. I plan on seeing it myself. But, long lasting, something worth going to the movie, bring in, you don't want to, alienate anybody, you don't want to upset nobody, especially DC hardcore fans. Bring them all, together. But like I said, the marketing, it's just, it could have been better, and it's just, people patting on the back and smiling and James Gunn's wonderful, which is good. But Suicide Squad, it's a different tone, it's a different beast. And finally, like I say, one thing about the first Suicide Squad, and I'm not holding it up like it was the greatest movie in the world, but that was the Avengers. That was Avengers for DC, because the combination group of folks all together. Yeah, because that came after Batman vs Superman, but I just know the excitement with the screenshots, when they had Will Smith and holding Harley Quinn in the rain and walking in the alley, everybody was just like, it got us used to the look of what they was going to look like. That, gangster gang, modern day LA type vibe. People say, oh, okay, I kind of got used to it, And when it came out, cause it was new and, it did successfully well, but hey, that's enough for me, man. That's Dave Loves Comics, man. Thank you for listening to this video, man, and listen to my rant, man. Like I say, marketing, man. Bring people together. All right, y'all be safe. Please be safe out there.